The first PAC US Tech Investment Conference was successfully organized in Silicon Valley, the center of American IT, in cooperation between the IT experts of Pakistan and America. Host Consul General Los Angeles Asim Ali Khan welcomed the tech conference held at Stanford University, California. In the conference, many informative sessions of panel discussions were held to express the opportunities available in the IT sector of Pakistan and the significant development, in which the American, Pakistani heads of the companies with significant development in the IT sector, Dr. Naveed Sherwani, Amir Wine, Asma Koker, Bilal Faruqi and Peter Hessa spoke and discussed the opportunities and potential for collaboration between Pakistani and American experts in Pakistan's IT sector. In the conference, the video message of Pakistani IT Minister Shahzad Fatima was also shown on the screen. Addressing the press conference on this occasion, Pakistani Ambassador Rizwan Saeed Sheikh said that Pakistan-US Tech Conference is the first effective step towards cooperation between Pakistan and US IT experts and companies. Speaking on the occasion of the conference, Bilal Faruqi, a well-known Pakistani-American expert in artificial intelligence, said that the tech conference has proved to be an effective platform for the exchange of ideas between the IT experts of Pakistan and the United States. Talking on this occasion, Naveed Sherwani, the head of the famous American company Rapid Silicon, said that our effort is to have cooperation between Pakistan, Saudi Arabia and America in the field of IT.
अस्सलामुअलैकुम, आपका मेज़बान वक़ार खान हाज़िर खिदमत है सिलिकॉन वैली से। और यहाँ पाकिस्तान अमेरिकन टेक काउंसिल के साथ मिलके और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ पाकिस्तान TDAP के ताउन से, सॉफ्टवेयर एसोसिएशन के ताउन से पाक टेक इन्वेस्टमेंट की कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई है जो कामयाब तरीन है। इसमें एम्बेसडर साहब ने शिरकत की है। इसके अलावा मुख्तलिफ एंटरप्रेन्योर, बिजनेसमैन, माइंड हाइव, एक्सपर्ट MRI, काबा फ्यूजन्स और दूसरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस ने बढ़ चढ़ कर हिस्सा लिया, उसको कामयाबी से हमकिनार किया। और ये कॉन्फ्रेंस अभी जारी है इंशाअल्लाह ताला, और इसकी मैं तफसीली रिपोर्ट आपको दूंगा। याद रखिए, पाकिस्तान जो टेक काउंसिल है उसने इसमें बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन डाला है। उनके 3 मेजर स्पीकर थे जिसमें बिलाल फारूकी साहब, डॉक्टर सुहेल मसूद साहब, उन्होंने बढ़ चढ़ कर हिस्सा लिया और अपना हिस्सा डाला। पाकिस्तान अमेरिकन टेक काउंसिल का ताउन जो है मुस्तकिल तौर पर रहेगा और हम चाहते हैं कि पाकिस्तान को हब टेक बनाया जाए।
तो ये है कि ये बुनियादी तौर पर एक सरमायाकारी के लिए एक तकरीब मुनक्किद की गई थी। तो जाहिर है कि जब आप सरमायाकारी चाहते हैं तो पहले आप बताते हैं कि आपके पास ऐसा क्या है जिसमें सरमायाकारी की जानी चाहिए। तो जो IT का शोबा है उसमें पाकिस्तान के पास बेपनाह सलाहियत और इस्तेदाद मौजूद है। आपकी जो सलाहियत है वो थोड़ी सी शायद अभी खाम है, क्योंकि जो नौजवान हमारे ग्रेजुएट हो के उन इदारों से जहाँ पे ये तालीम दी जाती है वो आ रहे हैं, तो अभी शायद वो बाकायदा तौर पर इंडस्ट्री के लिए तैयार नहीं है। लेकिन एक ख़ास एवरेज है जो कि पाकिस्तान में भी है, दुनिया में और जगहों पे भी है, कि कोई भी किसी भी शोबे में जब तालीमी मैदान से लोग बाहर निकलते हैं तो वो अमली मैदान के लिए उनको थोड़ा सा वक्त, थोड़ी सी मज़ीद जो है वो तजर्बाकारी चाहिए होती है। तो आज हम यहाँ सिर्फ पाकिस्तान की जो IT के शोबे में इस्तेदाद है उसका एक मुजाहरा करना या उसकी एक नुमाइश करने के लिए नहीं आए थे, और सिर्फ सरमायाकारी लेना ही हमारा मकसद नहीं था। हम ये चाहते थे कि क्योंकि दोनों मुल्कों के दरमियान इस शोबे में इश्तराक के लिए वसीतर इम्कानात मौजूद हैं, इसलिए हर किस्म का सरमाया, चाहे वो सिर्फ वो सरमाया है जो मालियात से वाबस्ता है, या वो सरमाया है जो तजर्बे की सूरत में दिया जा सकता है, या वो सरमाया है जो किसी कायदाना सलाहियत की सूरत में दिया जा सकता है, या वो सरमाया है जो किसी मशवरे की सूरत में दिया जा सकता है, जिसे एडवाइजरी कहते हैं। तो वो यहाँ से लेना हमारा मकसद था, और उसके लिए हमने मुख्तलिफ जो हमारे पूरे दिन के हिस्से थे इस तकरीब के, उनमें हमने इस पूरी कोशिश को बांटा। और आपने देखा कि बताया गया पहले कि पाकिस्तान क्या कर सकता है, क्या करता रहा है, कौन से लोग जो पाकिस्तान से मुंसलिक हैं वो कामयाब हैं यहाँ पर भी, और अपना कारोबार पाकिस्तान के इश्तराक से भी कर रहे हैं। वहाँ पे भी उनके जो है वो नुमाइंदे मौजूद हैं, उनके लोग मौजूद हैं।
Most businesses, if they fail one time or two times, they check out that business and get out of that business model. So the fact that you try to fail और अभी भी try करें, I commend them for that. सबसे बड़ी बात है, ठीक है? So no game is ever lost until you quit the game and then haven't quit the game. ठीक है?
We're not going to take too long, and I'm not going to go through a proper presentation. First of all, I want to congratulate Pakistan cricket to win their ODI against
Saudi Arabia, but for Saudi Aramco, and then I decided that it's enough of working with people in Jamshedpur.
For providing us this prestigious venue for this inaugural conference. And I'm also grateful to the members of the media who are present here, who have traveled from far distances to cover this conference. So now coming to the agenda of the conference, I'll request the ambassador before after that for the keynote address, and the Minister for IT and Telecom of Pakistan will make a statement online from Pakistan, from Islamabad, and after that inaugural session we will move to the panel discussion on the success stories of tech opportunities in Pakistan. After that, there are two very important sessions which are the core of this conference, the projects. This conference, we try to design it in a different way, not only just a talk shop or just panel discussion, but to present real projects and success stories who have done something in Pakistan, either want to do in Pakistan or who in the pipeline, and their initiatives. So there are a couple of them. So please brace up, stand ready. For two project sessions, there are 10 projects that will be presented in two sequences. In the pre-lunch session, there will be 5 projects, and 5 presenters and companies will present their projects, and there will be lunch break, and after that, in the post-lunch session, there will be 5 more projects. And after that, we have 11 Pakistani startups here, and the CEO of Pakistan Software Export Board, Mr. Abubakar, who traveled all the way from Islamabad, is leading that delegation. They will make their startup pitch. There will be a short networking session after that because we are a little bit behind on time. So a few housekeeping announcements. I request all the presenters to please stick to the time allocated to them. We are running a little bit behind time. And after that, may I now request, ladies and gentlemen, please warmly welcome the Ambassador of Pakistan to the United States, Mr. Rizwan Sheikh, for his inaugural address and for formally inaugurating the conference.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and good morning to all. And thank you, Asim. Well, I have been handed over a prepared text by my team, which is a very good one. I will certainly be taking points from it, but I would want to primarily talk to you directly. Well, this inaugural session today and this conference overall is perhaps in some way a pioneering act in the Silicon Valley when it comes to Pakistan's IT endeavor. It is the product of a hard labor. Asim has already referred to it, but we have been working on this project even before I was designated as Pakistan's ambassador to the United States. So this labor has been going on for a while. Now, it's just a beginning. It's not a one-off event. It's not something that will start and end today, but it's a kind of movement, a campaign that we are only initiating with a view to realizing and capitalizing on the enormity of potential that Pakistan carries when it comes to as futuristic a subject and as futuristic a domain and discipline as the information technology. Most of the people sitting here, I believe, know a thing or two about Pakistan. But being the principal marketing agent in this land, let me give you a few basic statistics. We are a mega country that, in geographical terms, straddles South and Central Asia. It's a particularly strategic location. As you might have noticed, those who have been Pakistan watchers, so as to say, or who have followed Pakistan, and certainly those who come from Pakistan have their ancestral linkage with Pakistan, that this location has kept us at the center stage of international politics for the past 7.5 decades. So it is a geopolitical significance that we have. But we also realize that even before these 77 years of independent existence as a nation state on the world map, our land was always a trade route. It had an economic significance. What was termed as United India, including what is now Pakistan before partition, contributed to 33% of the world's GDP before the industrial age, and that's why we were colonized. So that was one reason, that's the historical significance that we carry. And secondly, we are, in terms of civilizational significance, the oldest people on earth. In Pakistan, we have places like Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Mehergarh in Balochistan. Mohenjo-daro is in Sindh, Harappa is in Punjab. And only 40 kilometers from Islamabad, when we shifted capital from Karachi to Islamabad, it was not known, but now it's known, that we have remains of Paleolithic age. So we are the oldest people on earth. And that lends a kind of maturity and resilience to our genetic code, in terms of adaptability, in terms of learning, in terms of moving in tandem with the call of civilization or the march of civilization. And in the march of civilization, IT is the new title. In the knowledge-intensive societies of future, Pakistan, not just with a population of 250 million, but with a youthful segment of over 65% being below the age of 35. And doesn't stop here. The median age that we have as a nation is 22 years. So it's a promise of a demographic dividend that we carry not only for ourselves, but for the world at large. And in this cohort of 22 median age, there are people right now, 500,000 strong labor force, tech savvy, tech qualified, IT graduates, ready to move into the global linkages, the global IT landscape. What's more is that being such a large economy, a developing country of course, but with highly developed minds, we are basically a cost competitive and quality competitive merchandise on offer when it comes to IT. And this place, this Silicon Valley, where we are now situated, all of us gathered here today, is the hub of IT anywhere in the world, anywhere in the world. And given the fact that Pakistan's IT exposure to the United States is no less than 62% and certainly ascendant, this is the place where we feel that we have the largest opportunity, but the opportunity is not a one-way traffic or not a single road. It's a double road with movement both ways. So Pakistan offers mutually beneficial, mutually rewarding, mutually profitable opportunities for IT collaboration going forward. Today, in this event, what we intend to do is showcase our IT potential. Given the limited time, a one-day event, there is only so much of showcasing that can be done, so it has a microcosmic significance. But you would find that in this element of showcasing some very good projects, which I would attribute a title of a bit of show off as well. You would see projects with IT, not just the IT significance, but AI content. And that's being done in Pakistan. Some of the people sitting here that I have been talking to and I already know of from my previous contact in life, they know that Pakistan is not just an outsourcing destination which is cost competitive, which is quality competitive. We can also offer products. We can offer products. Our products have had significance. At least one of the products that would be presented, I can tell you, in GITEX 2021, this fintech product beat 600 companies from all around the world to win the GITEX fintech competition. So we just not have a capable cohort in IT, we have some stellar content. People who have not just performed around the world, they have outperformed around the world. They have outstripped the pace that the world is moving in the direction of. So, just to let you know that as Asim has briefly mentioned and as the event unfolds, it is not just a kind of a series or a litany of statements that we are going to make. Actual projects that pertain to Pakistan, that have a foothold in Pakistan, will be presented. And in presenting these projects, what we seek today from this hub of IT is not just kind of capital in financial terms. We want capital in every connotation that it represents. We have a potential which at certain levels is raw, pure raw talent that needs a bit of polishing, a bit of guidance. That's what we seek from this land, the Silicon Valley. Join us, afford us a bit of mentorship, some technological guidance, some innovative sense that can be brought into the equation that is going to be highly productive for all of us, I can promise you. And it will be a win-win proposition for future. Another element, and it would also unfold, perhaps it would be mentioned, if not by anybody else, by Naveed Sherwani sir here during his panel, that there is a bit of triangulation that we are trying to create. In terms of Pakistan affording the human capital part of it, we are resource rich in human capital. 250 million people, 2.55% population growth rate, stand to be the largest Muslim nation state in the world by 2030, things like that. But then we last year, based on our IT potential, signed a Pak-Saudi digital corridor agreement, a digital connect agreement with Saudi Arabia. So the capital can also be afforded from that part of the world. And this is a duo. Now, if we create a triangle and triangulate this proposition with Silicon Valley, United States at large, affording the technical part, again, it's not just a win-win, it is, the best of the best that we can create. So these are basically thoughts, ideas, propositions, and I believe value propositions that stand to be elaborated in subsequent segments and sessions throughout the day that I bring to you. But the basic thing is that Pakistan is there. We are a beautiful land. Come and visit Pakistan. Don't go for the media portrayals. Just visit our land. We are perhaps the most hospitable, warm people on the face of this earth. We are a resilient nation. We are a beautiful country. Come to Pakistan. We are not just cost competitive, we are quality competitive. So I invite you not only to profit from the promise of Pakistan, from the potential of Pakistan, but I can guarantee you that if you come for the cost, you will stay for the quality. Thank you.
She is also a member of Pakistan's National Assembly, a graduate of LUMS. Ms. Khwaja is currently leading country's digitization and e-governance plan. Being the Minister of State for IT and Telecom, she is also leading country's IT export growth plan to reach the mark of $25 billion. So I'll request my team to please bring Minister online. Madam, please.
Thank you so much, our Ambassador Rizwan Saab, as in there, including our CEO of Pakistan Software Export Board, Abu Bakr. A very good morning to all of you and Assalamu Alaikum. I would like to, first of all, thank all of you who are present here, who've taken time out to be here for an event based solely for Pakistan and its tech industry. And I would like to congratulate Ambassador, the Consul General, and everyone who's been a part of the team who's arranged this day. I'm not going to repeat everything that Rizwan Saab has already spoken about. I'm going to quickly jump on, in the interest of time, on what Pakistan's, at this point in time, first, what the macroeconomy looks like and how it has significantly improved over the last couple of years, and the economic stability that has come to Pakistan. So whether it's inflation that is down from almost close to 40% to a 6.9%, policy rate which has come down from 22% to 15%, foreign reserves, all-time high, stock market, if we look at our budget surplus, record high foreign remittance thanks to a lot of the people who are present here today. So all of these things are a great indicator of how Pakistan is now really getting on the path of macroeconomic stability and accelerating towards economic strength. So I think that this is something which I wanted to place on the onset and before I say anything about the tech industry. Talking about the IT industry and the potential that the industry holds and our plans for the sector moving forward. I would first of all say that we've shown a steady growth of around 25% when it comes to tech exports in Pakistan. And it has, last year, it jumped by almost 24%. And last quarter, year on year, showed growth of almost 27%. So we're very hopeful and we're very proud of especially the private sector who's there back home here in Pakistan and who really, the resilience that Rizwan Saab spoke about, who've really shown that resilience, especially over the last few years, which have been, I would very candidly say, difficult for the industry overall. But today, as the economy strengthens, we're really hopeful that the tech industry with it will not just boom at the rate economy is developing and strengthening, but will actually pull this economic development and accelerate it at a much higher pace than what is predicted. And it is the tech sector that we're all not only banking on, but from the highest quarters, especially the support and the dedication and the determination that Honorable Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has for this sector, the kind of support that he puts in. I'm going to it's a very small example, but this year when we were preparing the budget, and we all know that we were, kind of navigating through the IMF conditions, and it was a difficult budget that we were trying to make. But it was just one IT industry and IT ministry that was able to really get everything that we asked for. And the special concessions that the industry has also were left for IT industry, rest all special incentives and concessions for other sectors were withdrawn. So that's the kind of support and the push that Pakistan government has towards the industry. Moving forward, one thing, if I talk about how we're planning and the way forward that we're looking at, we actually look at the industry growing in two verticals. So the is where we really, our end goal is tech exports. And as has been mentioned, the overall target of 25 billion by the end of next few years is tech exports, plus how IT and technology can help us mobilize revenue within the country. And this is something that I'm going to talk about in detail. So that's one target that we have, our exports and the numbers that we're looking at. The second vertical that we're really right now, it's a very exciting but a very challenging journey that we're embarking on, is that of national digitization. And I think that it's very important to mention this here because the whole national digitization process will be led by the private sector and companies that are there in Pakistan, and we're hoping that they will be able to make connections with esteemed companies like yourselves, everyone who's present around here in this room, and other international partners, and make more collaborations to really support our national digitization efforts. And what does this national digitization look like? The idea is to digitize Pakistan in three verticals: economy, governance, and society. And the first most priority is economy at this point in time, but talking about digitizing governance and digitizing society is something that will move on simultaneously. And as we move towards this, we're looking to immediately slate, hopefully either by the end of this month or next month, a National Digitization Commission led by the Prime Minister himself, with the presence of all the chief executives of all provinces. So it's going to be a nationwide effort, plus the heads of all large bodies, especially bodies that hold Pakistan's data. So FBR, the Federal Board of Revenue, the State Bank of Pakistan, Pakistan Telecommunication Authority, and there are other data reserves and pools that these authorities have. So the idea is that everybody sits around the table and we start a conversation on digital public infrastructure, we start a conversation on data exchange layers and data governance. And followed by the National Digitization Commission will be a Pakistan Digital Authority for right kind of data governance to ensure that there is a digitization master plan available, and we move towards this national digitization with a concrete, comprehensive laid out in advance so that our goals are clear, our KPIs are measurable, and as we move on this road, we can really see our progress through and through. And like I said, all of this will be led by private sector. We as government we have a motto, and that's something that's repeated by the Prime Minister repeatedly, that government has no business doing business. So we're basically trying to roll back the role of as much as we can when it comes to business and what actually the private sector does best. So this is something that I wanted to talk about so that you can have a better idea of what kind of scope and opportunity Pakistan has available at this point in time, and in the coming few years it's really going to boom, not just in terms of exports but also in terms of the opportunity that will be present within Pakistan. You can well imagine that in a country with 250 million people, like it was said, 60% of them under the age of 35, it's just a country with a lot of opportunities waiting to be unlocked, a lot of potential waiting to be unlocked. So this is something that I wanted to talk about, the digitization plan that we have for Pakistan. And then there are many other things and initiatives that we can speak about. One thing that I would like to also mention specifically is our Pakistan Startup Fund, which I feel is something that is relevant to talk about over here. It's a small fund that we're trying to establish. We're still kind of grappling with the modalities that we will have, and all suggestions are most welcome. All your experiences are most welcome as to how we will be supporting and our startups and our new micro SME industry within the tech sector, and is to really probably make it into maybe an anchor fund where we can get large multilateral organizations, bilateral friendly countries, and other organizations and companies and venture capitalist funds and friends like yourselves to maybe become a part of, so that in the last few years the lack of access to capital that this industry has had because of also a global decline in investment, especially in venture capital, I think that it's extremely important that we kind of support our startup ecosystem with this capital investment, starting with the government itself. And that's the kind of seriousness that we have when it comes to the startup ecosystem that we have. So these were a few things that I feel are very pertinent to our conversation here. And last but not the least would be our focus and the absolute importance that we have for our human resource and human capital. We believe that's the biggest and possibly the strongest asset that we have as a country. And it is also ready not just to serve the industry within Pakistan but also globally. So all of you who've been part of the training industry in tech sector, I would also like to welcome you to please connect with us and let us know what are some of the successful programs that you've seen and experienced through your careers, and that can really help this over 150 million young people, young Pakistanis, and each and every one of them, trust me, is looking up to this sector for not just training but actually employment that will add to the industrial resource and also to serve the world with the great potential that these young brilliant minds have. Over the last couple of years, Pakistan's potential can also be seen by the fact that in the global cybersecurity index that the ITU has, Pakistan has become a tier 1 role model country. And same goes for the e-governance, the e-government index that UN publishes. Pakistan, I think, goes by around 14 ranks and is now in the high category of EGBI. A lot of other stats that are going well for the country, global rankings that we're improving in. We're one of the finest freelancing countries that is there. And I think that I would like to also give credit to our diaspora, like yourselves, and our friends and collaborating partners across the world, who have really also put in a lot of their effort in pulling the industry within Pakistan. And I think that I would like to end by talking to you about a few things where I feel that you could be really even more helpful when it comes to the tech industry within Pakistan and young people who are really interested in growing within this particular sector. So first thing that I would mention here is that Ambassador Excellency rightly said that we're not just an outsourcing destination, but we do intend to become, and we are one of the most, not just cost competitive, but also quality competitive, area within the region for business outsourcing. In that Pakistan can fare much better when it comes to business process outsourcing, and not just your average call centers, but whether it's financial services, whether it's legal services, management services, you talk about it and we have that human capital available. I think that there's a lot that can be explored in Pakistan, and I think that the gathering here can really contribute when it comes to that. And we can assure you of whatever guarantees are required at Pakistan as a possible destination. The second would be access to capital and access to market linkages. I think that that is something that most of you are already doing for the country. But again, I would like you to, any one of you feels that we can do better. What are the kind of changes that need to be brought about within Pakistan that can actually help our young micro companies, startups, and also freelancers to fare better when it comes to access to capital and markets. So that's something, there's a second thing that I wanted to, really say that we'd like to talk more about that in detail once we have time. Third is something that I've already spoken about, that's training. When it comes to human resource development, I think that there's a lot of potential in Pakistan. It's something that I need our young boys and girls, whether it's in the national incubation centers, whether it's these really small micro companies that these kids have opened within their basements. I think the potential is absolutely unlimited. And the right kind of training, the right kind of skilling, upskilling is something that can really be a game changer. And last but not least is a very specific issue that our companies back home face, and that is of international transactions. So any possible opening that we can have for ease of transactions and bringing the international organizations who are working in fintech, I think that's something that's the kind of possibility that I would like to personally explore with anyone who would be, able to really talk. I would like to have a conversation about this as to how can we do this for our young people in Pakistan. So these are a few things that I wanted to, really express in terms of larger economic stability, growth of the industry within the country, the kind of potential that our young people hold, and what are the things that we're aiming for, and the roadmap, and how can all of you become collaborators, partners, as we move towards achieving these goals for not just Pakistan and our people back home and our economy, but to be able to become really the hub of potential, the hub of activity, and a hub of productivity when it comes to this sector. With this, I would like to thank all of you for once again for being here, and I look forward to personally getting in touch with anyone who's who wants to read their piece in developing this sector for Pakistan as we move forward. Thank you very much, and hope you have a very good event. Thank you.
आपको कैसा लगा ये आपकी जो कॉन्फ्रेंस है, कैसी आपने फील की?
देखिए, ये कॉन्फ्रेंस एक इब्तदा है, एक नए सिलसिले की कड़ी है जिसमें इस किस्म की दीगर भी जो है वो तकरीबात कॉन्फ्रेंसेस अमेरिका के तूलो अर्ज में मुनक्किद की जाएंगी, लेकिन सिलिकॉन वैली से शुरू इसलिए करना था कि ये गढ़ है आईटी का, तो अच्छा हुआ। एक तो आपने देखा होगा कि कॉन्फ्रेंस का फॉर्मेट ज़रा मुख्तलिफ है, इसमें सिर्फ पैनल या तकरीरें नहीं हैं, इसके अंदर बाकायदा प्रोजेक्ट जो है वो पेश किए जा रहे हैं। तो इसी किस्म की एक फॉर्मेट को, इसी किस्म के एक रुझान को हम आगे भी आगे बढ़ाएंगे बाकी तूलो अर्ज में अमेरिका के। तो मेरे ख्याल में तो ये बहुत अच्छी इब्तदा है और इसके नताइज इंशाअल्लाह हौसला
अफजा होंगे। आपको इस बार पाकिस्तान अमेरिकन टेक काउंसिल ने भी इसमें हिस्सा लिया, जिसके 2 मेजर स्पीकर डॉक्टर सुहेल मसूद हैं, बिलाल फारूकी थे। तो आप कैसा महसूस कर रहे हैं कि पाकिस्तान अमेरिकन टेक काउंसिल के साथ आपका कोलैबोरेशन कैसा रहेगा?
टेक काउंसिल का पाकिस्तान में बहुत बड़ा फुटप्रिंट बनने जा रहा है और आपको पता है कि आज इस कॉन्फ्रेंस के तवस्सुत से $12 मिलियन की जो सरमायाकारी है वो अगले 1 साल में बिलाल फारूकी साहब ने स्टेज से बताया है कि वो करेंगे। तो ये तो मेरा ख्याल है कि अभी इब्तदा है, इसमें आगे बहुत कुछ होगा।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर।
बहुत सिलिकॉन वैली के अमेरिका के टेक एंटरप्रेन्योर्स और प्रोफेशनल्स आए हुए हैं जो हर रास्ते से आके, हर फील्ड से आके यहाँ सब जमा हुए हैं और हम लोग सब बात कर रहे हैं, गुफ्तगू कर रहे हैं अबाउट आईटी टेक्नोलॉजी। आज आगे टेक्नोलॉजी में क्या होगा और वो पाकिस्तान का क्या फायदा होगा और हम पाकिस्तान कैसे लेके आ रहे हैं। इस पर चंद लोगों ने प्रेजेंटेशन की, मैंने भी की और मुझे तो बड़ी खुशी हुई सबको देख के, बिकॉज सब ऑप्टिमिस्टिक है, एक्साइटेड है, अच्छे आइडियाज हैं लोगों के दिमाग में और वो सब एक बेसिस के सब यहाँ जमा हुए और ये है कि हम लोग पाकिस्तान में क्या करके आएंगे। पाकिस्तान की भी कंपनीज यहाँ ही भी हैं, उनके पास भी बड़े अच्छे इजाद हैं, टेक्नोलॉजी है, यहाँ की कंपनीज कह रहे हैं हम लोग पाकिस्तान के लिए करेंगे इंशाल्लाह। मेरे ख्याल से इस तरह जैसे पाकिस्तानी एम्बेसी ने ये वाला स्पेशली कॉन्सुलेट आसिम अली खान ने जो ये तैयार किया है,
This was really needed because there were a lot of people who still have this fear that Pakistan doesn't have the talent to provide the back office or IT support and all that. I am a witness myself for using the back office for 2 years in Pakistan and finding excellent people there, and they really know how to do it. They actually are doing as good or even better job than my employees who are hired in America at 1/6 the cost.
जो अभी इस ट्रेन पे नहीं बैठा ना, जो नेशन, when I'm talking about the train, I'm talking about the train of AI, talking about blockchain technology, cyber security, and very very importantly robotics. It's इतना critical है इस वक्त दुनिया में इस ट्रेन पे बैठने का कि जो मुल्क नहीं बैठेगा इस ट्रेन में, they will get left behind.
हमने इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में ये अनाउंसमेंट की है कि हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि पाकिस्तान, सऊदी अरेबिया और अमेरिका के बीच में एक कोलैबोरेशन हो और उसका प्रोजेक्ट ये है कि पाकिस्तान से जो भी कोई स्टार्टअप्स हैं, जो कंपनियां हैं जिनके पास अच्छी प्रोडक्ट्स हैं लेकिन वो ग्रो नहीं कर पा रहे, हम उनको सऊदी अरब ले जाके और ग्रो करें। और सऊदी अरब ले जाने के लिए वहाँ से हमको कैपिटल तो वहाँ से मिल जाएगा, लेकिन वहाँ पे सीनियर मैनेजमेंट नहीं है, जिसके लिए हम चाह रहे हैं कि बे एरिया से और अमेरिका से सीनियर मैनेजमेंट मिले। तो टीम पाकिस्तान की, प्रोडक्ट पाकिस्तान की, सीनियर मैनेजमेंट अमेरिका से और कैपिटल सऊदी अरेबिया से, इसको हम कह रहे हैं टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रिनिटी। और हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं